Well, if we're talking about the Cleveland Browns, these records are all over the place. The consistent one you see here is 9-8. So you guys feel a little bit more highly about them than me and Khalid do. And it sucks to say, man, because the Cleveland Browns over the last couple years remind me of the early 2000 Chargers. Have a not a great team, but at least a decent team where they can make some noise in the playoffs, and they just can't put it together for whatever freaking reason. And probably the strongest quarterback room in the NFL, to be honest with you. Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, Tyler Huntley, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Somebody's going to need to take a step up this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition there. The biggest question mark around this season is obviously Nick Chubb. Is he going to be healthy enough to come back? Jerome Ford absolutely went off while he was out. We saw that in the preseason. We were super excited to see him get his reps. Unfortunately, he had to get his reps when Nick Chubb was out. But that should be, to be honest, that might be, if Nick Chubb comes back at least 75% of what he was, that might be the best backfield in the NFL, to be honest. And I'm not saying that just to say that. Deontay Foreman and Nyheim Hines just strengthen that. And then just look at the slew of wide receivers that they've always had and they continue to have. Mari Cooper is still on his stuff. Cedric Tillman is going to want to make a comeback from when he was injured in college. He really didn't get his reps last year. David Bell, who was one of the best college receivers when he was at Purdue, is on that squad. They pick up Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, Jamari Thrash, Matt Landers, Jalen Camp. They're absolutely stacked. And then you just add on that you got David Njoku back there as well. Don't need to say anything about that stout offensive line. Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin carry those boys. Then we head over to the defense. Zadarius Smith, Dalvin Tomlinson coming over from the Vikings. Siaki Ika, our boy. But Myles Garrett, Ogbo Okoronkwo, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. There's some names on this defense. Jordan Hicks, Devin Bush, Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit. Juan Thornhill, Greg Newsome. They might be underrated best defense in the league as far as consistency.
Yes.
They got weapons all over the place, man. But to me, it's just, it came down to schedule again for them. An unfortunate schedule that they got to play, and playing in one of the best divisions in the league. Some notable losses for them. I think off the rip, they take an unwarranted loss against the Cowboys to start out the season.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Cowboys just end up winning stupid games like this, just starting out the gate real strong. I think they make some mistakes in week 5 before they head over to Philly and play them against the Commanders. I don't know, man. The Saints, I think they take an unwarranted loss against them. Then towards the end of their season, they got to go against the Broncos, which I think they win, the Steelers, which I think they lose, Kansas City, the Bengals, Miami, and the Ravens. That might be the toughest, 7-game stretch right there after a bye week. Nasty work, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, heading into their schedule, all the additions added in that receiver room, they basically are setting up whoever the quarterback is for success on the quarterback, because you got Nick Chubb coming back, and if he doesn't even come back, you still got a good backfield as well, adding Nyheim Hines, Devontae Freeman as well. And I really like this offensive core around the quarterback. Is all their season's going to depend on their QB play. It is. Because you got the receivers, you got the tight end, you got the running back room, you have the O-line, you have the defense. That defense line is the best defensive line in the entire NFL.
Whoa, sir.
What?
The best defensive line in the NFL?
It's up there.
I don't know. The Rams probably just open the door for that if those rookies can perform.
Exactly. It's the rookies, though. They got proven guys on there, and now Myles Garrett is up there with T.J. Watt as the two best.
Hold on, I got to start looking at some defensive lines in the NFL. I'm forgetting somebody, but go ahead, continue.
I'll continue. You got a very good linebacking core with JOK out there. You added Devin Bush for depth. This defense is a very good defense, and this defense is going to win them football games this year, and it's going to depend on who steps up. Deshaun Watson, DTR, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's not on the team.
Oh, yeah, not Joe Flacco. I'm sorry. Oh, I just had it. Let me.
The Raiders and the Colts might have a better defensive line overall.
I was looking at losses. I'm sorry. Jameis Winston. I'm sorry. Tyler Huntley. Tyler from the Ravens. Which one of the quarterbacks are going to step up? And they got so much, and one of them will. And I think they're going to. How I have it, I have Cleveland losing out the gates to Dallas, winning versus Jacksonville, winning versus New York, winning versus Vegas, winning versus Washington, going into week 6. Week 6, 4-1, lose to Philly, lose to Cincy, lose to Baltimore, win to the Chargers.
Lose to Sissy. That's crazy.
Cincy.
Whoa, that's wild. That's nasty work right there.
Nasty work, bro. No Diddy.
And then go on the bye with a total of 5-4, and then come out the gates, win versus New Orleans, win versus Pittsburgh. I think they get upset out there in Denver. I think that's going to be a trap game for them, and I think Denver's going to take it after a 2-game winning streak for Cleveland coming out, and then they lose to Pittsburgh, lose to Kansas City, get a rebound versus Cincinnati, win versus Miami, and then lose to Baltimore. And for me, where do that put them? At number 4 and just missing and be eliminated. I think the Baltimore game is going to eliminate them from the playoffs.
Ooh. 9-8 for Hayden. 9-8 for Dom.
Baltimore game at the very end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Where Baltimore's probably resting all their starters.
And my prediction, they're not, because they're going to have somebody to fight for that last week.
Okay, buddy.
They have somebody they're going to fight for.
So what's your outlook for the Browns, my man, to switch us over to the next team?
Yeah, so for Browns, I also have 9-8. Again, 4th in the division. The main problem is, yes, that defensive stout. We've already listed all their names, so there's no point in me, relisting all of them. The main problem is going to be, are you getting a Nick Chubb at all? What percentage of Nick Chubb are you getting? How much snaps is he going to get? Because, 5% Nick Chubb is better than no % Nick Chubb. And while, Jerome Ford did amazing, he's still going to need a second guy. That way he doesn't have to take, 50 snaps a game like Mike Gundy's going to do to Ollie Gordon,
That's what I'm saying. If he had him last year and they were splitting carries, it would have been nasty work.
It would have been that. And again, it's what quarterback carousel are you going to do? Now, with Stefanski, I trust that whatever quarterback he's putting in there is going to work, because he put 3 of them back there last year, and it worked for him. Cleveland still won games, and they still looked good. But, you need that star quarterback. You can't have, a quarterback carousel. This isn't college where, you could take like Dan Mullen and have 2 different types of quarterbacks and, go out there and win games. You need to have your one definitive guy. And depending on what Deshaun Watson looks like this year, I don't know. I don't know if they'll have one. It all depends on what Deshaun does. And also, Elijah Moore, I was excited about that. He was a letdown last year. Jerry Jeudy, he's been a letdown since he's gotten into the league. What's he going to look like under a new? The only solidified receivers are Njoku and Amari Cooper. And even then, weren't there reports that came out like a while ago about like Amari Cooper not happy or like he wanted out or something along those lines? I can't remember if that. But if not, either way, you still have either Njoku and Amari Cooper. That's it. Those are your two solidified guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, you can argue Jerome Ford, but you know how many
Granted,
times
he
are you
only
really
had
gonna be
800
able to
yards
use
last
him?
year.
Yeah.
Well, when your
Like, how
quarterback
many-
play sucks too, that doesn't
that's
make it any
fair.
better.
And it's like, but yeah, again, how many times are you really going to be able to use him? You're not going to be able to use him like you would have with Nick Chubb. He's going to need a second guy. But yeah, just with all this, I think they got to. I don't know, man. I think this is going to be we're making progress. We're looking good. I think this is more so going to be a season of if Deshaun is the guy or not. And if not, then they're going to have to either look in free agency, a trade, or the draft. Or maybe one of their guys. Maybe DTR. Who knows? But
over under yards for Jerry Jeudy. Over under 500.
I think he's gonna go under because of how deep that receiving core is. But I think it's gonna be Amari Cooper, David Njoku, Jerry Jeudy.
So we just gonna forget that Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman are there too.
Exactly. Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore.
To be honest, I think Cedric Tillman is going to be their number 2.
I think those.
I think so too. I think
they're going to split like catches from each other, and I think they're all going to be around the 500-yard range.
I like Elijah Moore, but I think he showed everything that he can do.
I think the problem is that Elijah Moore hasn't shown everything he can. I think the problem is, though, he just can't get that connection, and I think that's what's going to cause the rise of Cedric Tillman. And I think Jerry Jeudy's lateness is also going to help Cedric Tillman's rise. I think
people forget how good he was at Tennessee.
Number 4, and Cedric Tillman's going to end up being number 3.
People
and then
forget how good that
rise
dude
to
was.
2.
He was supposed to be the Biletnikoff favorite before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
David Bell getting slept on. I think his time's passed though. I mean, he's had what? This is 3 seasons. This is his second or third or fourth season with them. David Bell is a security blanket on second down. Does it? I don't think he's being slept on. I just think he never matched his potential. David Bell's potential to me said, "Oh, I'm Marquise Lee." When I was with the Jaguars, even though I was a standout at USC. That's David Bell to me. But yeah, that's the Cleveland Browns, man.